We continue in the 23rd chapter, chapter 23, in one word, miyuchadim, unity. We spoke about unity in 3 dimensions, 3 degrees. When you do a mitzvah, a physical action, the limb that's engaged in the action of extending and giving charity, for example, walking, on Shabbos to go to synagogue, for example, you're bound up with God and united with God. Your soul is also bound up. And we gave 2 different metaphors on how to understand that unity in 2 different dimensions, 2 different degrees. The highest degree of being bound up is what we spoke about yesterday, is about what we're doing right now, Torah study. Torah study is called a perfect unity. It's called Yichud Gomer. Perfect unity, translated. Through the study of Torah. Why is that different? It's because the study of Torah is you're not doing something that you're told to do, commanded to do, and when you fulfill that, then you're fulfilling the command, which brings a unity. But here you're studying God's wisdom, his will. You're studying the very will and wisdom itself. Not what you should do with that will and wisdom, but you are understanding, absorbing it in your mind through your thoughts and speech. And therefore the union is a much deeper union. It's like the blueprints that a king orders his servants to build. Understanding the blueprints is understanding the king's will and his wisdom that he made in the blueprints. Then there's putting a wall here, putting a wall there, of course you need both aspects. And that's what we explained yesterday. Incidentally, today's class, in honor of our dear Rebbetzin, Chaya Mushke, whose yahrzeit is today, the 22nd of Shvat. So in her honor is today's teachings. So since the divine will is a perfect unity with God himself, right? And as we explained, his inner will is the Torah itself. So that means when we study the Torah, we're in a perfect unity with God, with our garments of self-expression, of thought, thinking words of Torah, and speaking words of Torah. A complete, incomparable form of being bound up with God. Nothing that separates us from God. That insofar as that his inner will, his countenance is not concealed. Moreover, this unity is so great and so exalted that even the upper worlds, the spiritual realms of souls up there and angels there, are getting vitality from us down here. Right? It's a kind of a paradigm shift. You would think the other way around. No. They get from us rather than we get from them. Because, again, the Torah is God's inner will that compels an outer will to create. To create spiritual worlds, to create a physical world, to create angels, and whatnot. That is all derived from his will. His will and his wisdom in the Torah. And since everything is, its vitality comes from his wisdom, all is brought into creation. So when we study that Torah, we are giving vital force to the higher worlds, and we're greater than those worlds. Now, this vitality of the Torah that we sort of introduce and bring into the world through our study, as we're doing right now, that animates, is coming from the all-encompassing light of God, of His will, just like a will is all-encompassing in the individual. All-encompassing meaning, if there's a moment, you may understand something, even feel for something, but if you have no will desire for it, then it doesn't matter what your intelligence tells you. It doesn't matter what your feelings tell you. You just opt out. I don't want. You don't want. That's why it's all encompassing. So God's will is encompassing all of the worlds, which that means it cannot be clothed in this world in a manner that we should experience it, because it's all encompassing, because it's too great, it's too lofty. Therefore, when we study right now, we're not able to consciously experience the unity of our soul being bound up to this all-encompassing animating force of God. Yet the soul does feel it. We're just not so attuned to our soul. And it's precisely because we don't feel it, that's why we could be united. Because if we would feel it, then we would just kind of wouldn't be able to, we wouldn't be able to kind of be. We wouldn't be able to be. We'd be nullified. We'd be nullified. That explains why the study of Torah is greater. Further explanation of why the study of Torah is greater than the mitzvahs themselves, because of that great unity. And it's far loftier than even prayer. The law says that, you have to stop your study in order to pray. That's only because we'd stopped anyways to do, our own things. So therefore stop for prayer. Not because prayer is greater unity with God. No, it's actually a lesser unity. The greatest unity is the study of Torah itself. Again, that which we're engaged in right now. Powerful idea.